How does the Electoral College system work? As confusing as the Electoral College process can be, the simplest way to describe it is this. When you vote for president and vice president, what you're really voting for is the slate of electors in your state chosen by your preferred candidate's political party. The Electoral College process impacts only the office of president and vice president. Most other elections in the United States are decided by popular vote. If a majority of voters in your state voted the same way you did, then your chosen presidential ticket wins the popular vote in your state, in 48 states and Washington, D.C. In these states, a popular vote win means the winning political party's entire slate of electors is selected. This is called a winner-take-all system. For example, if the Republican candidates win the popular vote in a winner-take-all state like Texas, all 40 of Texas's electors will be Republican appointed. However, Maine and Nebraska use a congressional district system, which allows for splitting electoral votes between candidates. Once the electors from each state and D.C. are finalized, they meet in December to cast the final vote for president and vice president. Electors are generally expected to vote according to the party that nominated them, so the Electoral College vote usually serves as a formality confirming the November election results. However, no constitutional provision or federal law explicitly requires electors to do so. Instead, it is up to the states to decide, and while many states and D.C. have laws against faithless electors who vote against their party's nominees, not all states do. Faithless electors are rare but have occurred, with 7 in the 2016 election. However, the potential for faithless electors isn't even the biggest issue critics have with the Electoral College. Are there problems with the Electoral College? For starters, the Electoral College system can result in someone becoming president by winning a strategic combination of states rather than by securing the most votes nationwide. This dynamic often places a disproportionate emphasis on a few swing states where candidates focus their campaigns, giving voters in those states more influence than voters in reliably red or blue states. In winner-take-all states that consistently vote for one-party, voters supporting the opposing party have little chance of their vote influencing the election. This system tends to overrepresent white voters and diminish the voices of voters of color, particularly in smaller states and swing states, which often have a larger proportion of white residents than the national average. Unsurprisingly, support for the Electoral College is often stronger among those who benefit from it. After the 2016 election, where Donald Trump won the presidency despite losing the popular vote, a Gallup poll found that only 19% of Republicans and Republican-leaning independents favored switching to a national popular vote, down from 54% in 2011. Meanwhile, 81% of Democrats and Democrat-leaning independents wanted to move away from the Electoral College, up from 69% in 2011. Following Joe Biden's 2020 victory, 71% of Democrats still favored a national popular vote, and by July 2023, that number had climbed to 82%. So what would it take to actually change or eliminate the Electoral College? Can we change or get rid of the Electoral College? Over the past 200 years, Congress has seen more than 700 proposals to change or abolish the Electoral College. According to the National Archives, proposals to reform the Electoral College outnumber all other constitutional amendment proposals. Today, several states are exploring ways to either reform or bypass the system. Here are some of the most popular alternatives. Adopting a congressional district system for all states. This would retain the Electoral College framework but follow the example of Maine and Nebraska by eliminating the winner-take-all system. Under this approach, electoral votes would be divided based on the outcome in each congressional district, giving more voters a chance to have their voices heard. In Nebraska, for instance, 2 of its 5 electoral votes go to the state's overall popular vote winner, while the remaining 3 go to the winners of individual congressional districts. This allowed Omaha and its suburbs to send 1 electoral vote to Barack Obama in 2008, even though the state overall supported John McCain. Amending the Constitution to allow a direct popular vote. Abolishing the Electoral College entirely and moving to a direct popular vote for the president, similar to how other officials are elected, would require amending the U.S. Constitution. This would involve a two-thirds vote from both the House and Senate, followed by ratification from 3/4 of state legislatures. Alternatively, a constitutional convention could be convened if two-thirds of state legislatures petition for it, but this method has never been used before. Expanding the National Popular Vote, NPV movement. The most realistic path to bypassing the Electoral College without amending the Constitution might be the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, NPV. States joining the compact agree to award their electoral votes to the winner of the National Popular Vote, effectively neutralizing the state's popular vote. As of April 2024, Maine became the most recent state to join, and 17 states plus DC have already passed NPV legislation. The compact will take effect once states with a combined 270 electoral votes have joined. Currently, 61 more electoral votes are needed to reach that threshold. While the NPV wouldn't technically abolish the Electoral College, it would ensure that the winner of the popular vote also wins the presidency by guaranteeing that all 270 electoral votes go to that candidate.